Bonjour et bienvenue à c'est facile, French made easy for beginners. Aujourd'hui, on va apprendre comment utiliser les verbes irréguliers au présent. Today, we're going to learn how to use the irregular verbs in the present tense. So without any further ado, shall we? We looked previously how easy to use the French present tense with the regular verbs, for example, for the ER verb, RE verb, and IR verbs. Most of the time my students, they ask me the same questions. How can we use, what are the rules, in fact, to use for the irregular verbs? And in fact, there are none. I always give them the same advice, is try to identify patterns, and that will help you to remember many verbs without the need for memorizing them. If we take this example, two verbs, prendre and comprendre. Prendre is to take, comprendre is to understand or to comprehend. If you can see, there is the verb prendre within the verb comprendre. So if I know how to use prendre, for example, I take is je prends, I understand is je comprends. So all I need to do is add com, which is comme, to the verb comprendre. The same thing applies, for instance, if I know how to use, for example, conduire, which is to drive, I can use produire, which is to produce, or introduire, to introduce. Construire is to build or to construct. Détruire, which is to destruct. Traduire, which is to translate. Réduire, which is to reduce. They're all following the same patterns. I said previously about apprendre, you got comprendre, méprendre, reprendre, surprendre, to surprise, for instance. If I know how to use mettre, which is to put, I can use admettre, to admit, or commettre, to commit, compromettre, which is to compromise, permettre is to allow or to permit, soumettre, which is to submit, transmettre, to transmit. If I know how to use the verb venir, to come, I can use revenir, to come back, devenir, to become, tenir, to hold, appartenir, to belong, souvenir, to remember, retenir, to retain, obtenir, to obtain, intervenir, to intervene. So all those verbs, they follow in the same patterns. So that's what I always ask my students to do. I have already attached in this video below, there is a link for the grid for all the verbs, so you can use them at your own leisure, your own time. You can use this activity, you can pause it and you can give it a go, and you'll find in the next page the answer to this activity. So just pause it and just give it a go using the sheet on the description, which you can download. These are the verbs, unfortunately, you have to memorize them because they do not follow any patterns. For example, avoir, you can say j'ai. I put them here as je and then a, but because it's two vowels together, then it becomes j'ai here in the red, which is I have. And then the rest, it will be tu as, il a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont. The verb être, je suis, tu es, il est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont. Verbe aller, je vais, tu vas, il va, nous allons, vous allez, ils vont. Faire, je fais, tu fais, il fait, nous faisons, vous faites, ils font. And this modal verbs, pouvoir, vouloir, devoir, savoir. Dire is already on the grid. If you have any questions, you can just comment below and I'll do my best to respond as soon as I can. Au revoir et à la prochaine.